The more I hear that song, the more I actually like it. That wasn't my original choice. I went to a website that I've been using, pixabay.com, for free music, license free music, whatever. And I've been using it for a lot of my videos. And then all of a sudden, one of the songs I'd regularly been using, they started putting it on YouTube. Like, hey, nope, you can't use this. So switched it up, and I'm starting to come around to that new one. Welcome to the stream. I am Alex from Sandro Says, also known as Ken Fresno to some of my close friends. But one of my closest friends is with me as always. Zygmunt Lawrence Zito. Little Ziggy is here. We are here on this awesome Monday. Hope you're having a great Monday yourself. Please hit the like button on your way in. Please hit the subscribe button on your way out. We are here to talk about New York winning a championship and destroying the city. Now, in context, it looks pretty bad, some of the stuff I've seen, but I think we have to look at some of the historic times that cities were destroyed after a team won a championship. So let's get into it. The Knicks won their first basketball title in 50-something years, 53 years. I'm not a Knicks fan. I am just a jersey collector. So I have a Knicks jersey from like 4 years ago. This is a Julius Randle jersey. I am from New York, but I was a Nets fan growing up because the Nets were originally on Long Island. And even though they moved to New Jersey, that I still was a fan when they moved. Or not when they moved, but my family was still fans of them. Even though they weren't really big basketball fans. We're real St. John's fans more than NBA. Anyway, the Knicks had some great times when I was a young kid. I had a Patrick Ewing jersey when I was like 10. It was exciting to be a fan, but you know, the Knicks really sucked the last 26 years. I've moved away from New York. I'm out of the hoopla. But it was exciting to see them win. I'm happy for a lot of my friends that are lifelong Knicks fans and never got to see a victory. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. They did it with an underdog-esque team without a true, like, superstar. I know Jalen Brunson is now a superstar, but they didn't really view him as one until he won the title, and that's what makes people superstars, when you do things that transcend. So it's been a lot of fun for people in New York. The sad thing is when you see after the game that New York is in some kind of competition with Philadelphia and Chicago and other teams, other towns that when they win have torn apart the city because they caused millions of dollars in damage. And it's sad that like my gut reaction now is like, well, that's to be expected. And it's like, that's just such a sad state, like a sad statement on how things are when you're like, that's to be expected. Because the first time I remember hearing about it, I remember a big deal about it, because I was too young for the Chicago Bulls in the 90s, which we'll get to. But the first time I remember hearing about a team destroying a town was 2011. And that's when Vancouver lost the Stanley Cup. They lost the Stanley Cup and were so pissed that they destroyed the town. So I'm going to pull up some pictures here of the Vancouver riots in a second, but let me describe that to you. So a team lost a Stanley Cup and they rioted and there were cars on fire and stuff. It's like, okay, well that's stupid, but people were angry. Then a couple years later, it starts becoming a thing. The next big event I remember is the Eagles. The Eagles winning the Super Bowl, and you had people out in Philadelphia. They even, like, the police even greased the poles ahead of time. Like, they greased the poles to prevent people from climbing up. People still find a way to climb up these massive stoplight poles and TV poles and whatever, telephone poles. And people fall and crack their heads. It's a bad scene for everyone. I don't remember as much fighting or I don't remember police in riot gear in that as much. I remember police quelling things, but things didn't get too out of hand. The second time Philly won the Super Bowl, like a couple years later, you figure, okay, they never won a Super Bowl. They're a tough town. They got it out of their system. No, they went harder the second time, and I think even more people got arrested and stuff. So that was the big visual. And now you have Manhattan, a city that it's already kind of beaten up already. Like, I know it's the biggest city or the most populated city on the East Coast and all this stuff, and it's probably the most famous city, arguably, in the world. And, you know, some of the most pertinent images of New York of the last half century are 9/11. And now the new image that people associated with New York are burning school buses. I'm stunned at the stupidity of the fan that says we're going to destroy a school bus and light it on fire. Because That reminds me of an old Lewis Black joke, where Lewis Black was pointing out how the people of Arkansas, were mad that their education system was shit, so they were going to sue the state of Arkansas, which essentially that means they're suing themselves because again, who's paying on both sides of that? They are. So it was one of those things where that's exactly like where this is, where New Yorkers want to complain about not having things and having a beat up city and stuff, and they whine about it. I used to live there. I know the people that complain and bitch and moan about this stuff. And then they go out, the same type of people go out and fucking destroy school buses. That's not like a private company bus either. That's a straight up state owned thing that takes children to camp and the stuff. They said, okay, apparently these were being used for the World Cup. I mean, I guess that makes it not as terrible. I don't really know. Here, hold on. So let me pull up some pictures here, so at least we can see what we're talking about as we have the phenomenal. Here, let me bring this over here. All right, but didn't work. Try it again. There we go. Scenes from the chaos. Why does it have my damn name? Tell me, bitch. No, I don't want it. It's supposed to be zoomed in so that you don't have to see all the stupid shit. There we go. Much better. I think that works now. Okay, yeah, that works. That's better. Cool. Sorry, guys. For fuck's sakes, how many times do I have to transition over and then have it go back? Anyway. Iconic scenes from the chaos. Burning school buses in Times Square. Even saying that sentence, it's like, so we've become a fucking third world country. We've become Chicago now. We've become LA. New York was always better than this, man. Idiot, look at these idiots on top of things celebrating. I found this one video on Twitter of this poor lady. She looked like she was of African descent and like fresh off the boat kind of thing. She was just on a bus trying to get home, and she was the only person on the bus. The bus was still lit like it was in service, but people were on top of the bus and dancing and rocking it, and she was just looking around like, what's going on, and am I going to get home tonight? And it's like, sister, you got to start walking at this point. You took the wrong route tonight. It's shocking to see these sort of things, but, you know, there's police in riot gear. Police in New York, unfortunately, I feel like they've been neutered recently, in recent years, where they really aren't allowed to arrest people, or if they arrest them, they have to immediately let them go, so they don't really waste their time arresting. If they can avoid it, they kind of just pepper spray and say, get the fuck out of here. Like, over the course of time, though, I didn't realize just how bad some of these things were. So even if you account for the fact that New York cops are not arresting 100% of these people, I believe there were 65 arrests, over 100 injuries. Luckily, no one died. I think just one kid got shot in the foot or something. But nobody died from this damn thing. But let's talk about the Chicago Bulls. Chicago, a notably dangerous city. In 1992, after the Bulls won their third straight was it 92 they won their third straight? I believe, or was that their second straight? Because they won 6, 7, 8. They lost 4, 5. So they won 1, 2, 3. So that was their second straight title. This isn't even like their third straight title of the Michael Jordan era. Over 1,000 arrests. 1,000. So 65 for New York. Let's even say that they only arrested 10% of the New Yorkers because these cops said, fuck it. That's still only 650 arrests compared to Chicago, 1,000. 95 cops injured. That's more cops injured than we had arrests in New York. Widespread looting, arson, overturned vehicles, and shootings. Luckily, we did not hear of any shootings in New York last night, outside of with rubber bullets and stuff. Opportunistic crime mixed with celebration. That's not something I saw last night. I saw idiot crime. I saw idiot ripping apart a school bus like a bunch of fucking morons, but I did not see, hey, let's go break into the Versace store. I don't think the New York cops were probably lined up for that shit. And what especially bothers me is Mamdani He was there at the Knicks games pretending to be a Knicks fan, that fucking phony. And he's like, "Oh, well, we're going to have a parade Thursday." You know what he should have done before this? He should have said, if the looting, or if not looting, excuse me, if we have issues outside the stadium after we win, if it becomes at all like a riotous crowd, we will not have a parade Thursday. And I know that's something he could probably never follow through on, because you don't want the city already hates him. So if he does something like that, they'd hate him even more. But if you say that, at least it puts it in the back of some people's minds, and maybe not everyone goes out to rip apart a school bus and light it on fire. You know, there's a sad video. Apparently, one of the guys, one of the guy who was driving the bus, was like, "This is coming out of my paycheck. You destroying this." I don't know how true that is or not. For all I know, he licenses the bus during the summer so that he can take people to and from big events. Like, he pays a fee to, I don't know, that might be the case, and then it's his liability that if the bus gets fucking destroyed. I don't know how that all works. It's just, you shouldn't be destroying vehicles. You shouldn't be destroying property. If you wouldn't want it to happen to your fucking house, don't fucking do it, man. It's like, just, that's simple shit. I saw these people just, we're going to go on some videos in a minute of people who just had their cars parked and stuff. The LA Lakers also. Famously, LA in 2000 and 2010. Not the rest of their titles, but in 2000 when they first won a title again after a bit of a drought. 10,000 fans gathered at the Staples Center. They had bonfires, looting of stores. Again, multiple cases of looting across all these things, which luckily I don't think we saw in New York. Police cars set on fire. Luckily, they didn't fuck with the cops too bad last night, it looked like. I think they were just messing with one cop car. They were spray painting it or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess fire, spray paint. At that point, you're disrespecting the cops. Who gives a shit? Rocks and bottles thrown at officers. Dozens of vehicles damaged at car dealerships. See, again, fucking with car dealerships, man. You're not, like, those things aren't even bought yet, dude. Come on, man. And police fired rubber bullets. And in 2010, they did the same thing. Now, here it is. The Eagles we're talking about. 2018 versus the Patriots. Okay, widespread rioting and looting. I remember, like I said, 2018 was bad, but 2020, whatever the fuck, 24, 25, fans set fires in the streets. They destroyed light bulbs. They destroyed infrastructure around their town. They destroyed, like, look at this. These people, you're paying for this. You have to use this shit the next day. This is your fucking town, you idiots. And you do stuff like this. So this is Philadelphia, for context, everyone. New York, again, did not get this bad. So for everyone who thinks New York is the epicenter of hell right now, it is, but it's not for the rioting that happened the other night. I mean, that's like, this is ridiculous. It's fun to see, I guess, if you're not there. But the fucking, this is after you win, you destroy your downtown area. I don't understand the logic. I don't think I'll ever understand the logic of it. The Detroit Pistons, when they won in '84, they had riots. The Detroit Tigers, when they had riots, somebody got killed. That's wonderful. When the Red Sox won in '04, you expect that from Boston. Those pieces of shit up there. I remember when the San Francisco Giants won. There's a lot of gang activity, unfortunately, in certain areas of the country. I believe when the Giants play, that's one of those times where Oakland and San Francisco come to meet, and it doesn't usually go well. There's a lot of fights across football, baseball. It's very stupid how some of these people take it. You're allowed to talk shit to their team. You're allowed to razz them and all that stuff. The minute you start throwing beers at kids, the minute you start beating people up and threatening them and fucking with them and fucking with their cars and stuff and lighting things on fire, you're no longer a fan. You're an asshole, and you don't deserve to be a fan at that point. I'm sorry. It's one of these things where people say, hey, it's a party outdoors and I can get drunk. Let's fucking do this. And it's one of the reasons alcohol is just, it should be limited to people with a certain IQ level. Because there's too many dipshits just out there pounding brewskis and with no repercussions. All right, so let's watch a couple of these videos here, rock quick. But while we're changing over, please leave a like on the video. Knicks rights. Here, the New York Post, they're probably not going to. All right, so this guy, This dude, he has. Did anybody here play football? Anybody here play football? I forget the name of the drill. Fuck. I forget the name of the drill. But you get in a circle and you'd have one, they call it a number, and one guy would have to get in the middle, and then they'd call out, or just one guy would have to get in the middle, and you call it a number, and then that guy would have to come in and hit him. That was a fucking drill. If the coach liked you, you'd survive. If the coach hated you, you'd be in there for a bit. I'll let you guess which one the coach is about me. This dude's in a Rodman jersey. He's not playing around. He's a real Spurs fan. Now that's a cheap move. How you gonna trip someone like that, bro? Dude. Is this MSG? I haven't been to Madison Square Garden in about 20 years. So this could very well be Madison Square Garden. I do not know. It used to look way different than this shit. This dude's like, big. Like he's old school jacked up. You could tell he's not necessarily like he's in shape. He's probably a former lineman or something. Like he doesn't have to have washboard abs. That guy could kick the fuck out of you. It doesn't matter. You're gonna make fun of him for being fat. You're gonna get an ass whipping. And then this guy behind him. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. This is something else. I don't even know what to say here, everyone. Let's see. Let's wait until YouTube strikes me here. Is this really the whole video? The cop is just holding him back. Just get him out of there, bro. It's like 500 to 1. This is not going to end well. Okay, first of all, you need more than one police officer there for this. Second of all, the most harsh thing you could do is give the na 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 hey 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 goodbye. That's the roughest thing you could do to someone in this situation. They should have started that up, but these fans are too young for that shit. Okay, at least I got another officer there now. Fair enough. They're starting to at least take this a little seriously. Oh, I love it. Now I've been in some crazy situations before. Not many, but after sporting events, especially soccer ones. Soccer events can get very rowdy, especially the fans of opposing teams. I do remember 2006 World Cup Germany, though. Those German cops were not putting up with anything. They had no interest in drunk people from around the world breaking their rules. Germans can drink a ton, but they do not go and then go on the train or go to the bus stop and fuck with people. They don't piss on the streets. They don't drink. They don't like carry, or you can carry beer with you, as far as I recall. But like, they're not sloppy about it. They're adults when they drink. When a World Cup comes, I forget if there's American guys or English guys there that were fucking around, and this cop came up and he smacked the shit out of one of them immediately. And it was like, it's like, no, you don't start up a crowd like this. So if we had the German cops here for this would have been a bloodbath. Even with just batons, these people would have all been looking for new jaws in the morning. It would have been something else, man. Let me tell you. We are, like, I know how we talk about a fascist country here and all this shit. In practice, what's going on here? They're being very reasonable with a lot of people in a very tense situation. I'm just saying. After all that, too, I gotta say, homeboy, he barely broke a sweat. This dude must be like he must be like someone that just wrangles bulls or something, like in his spare time. I don't know what the fuck they do in San Antonio for fun, but whatever he does, you can tell he can beat the fuck out of like a horse. This young man, I wouldn't be. These guys are all tough shit because they're together. All right, so what's the next part of this fight here? We've seen this guy here. All right. Oh, so they did trash police cars. God bless. Woohoo. Very proud. Yeah, that's another one that bothers me because for as much as the all cops are bastards mentality has taken over the last few years, these are still the people you call when you need help. So that's the most broken mentality I've ever heard. It's just so sad when people think like that and do stuff like this. I know historically people have trashed cop cars again because it's like a public thing, so no one gets hurt. It's not inherently New York or inherently 2020s to do it, but it's still shitty to see, man. It's like these are the people. Like, what if they had to get somewhere right now to do something and help? It's just an old cliche, but it's fucking stupid. Again, have your fun, but why do you got to destroy the city you fucking live in, man? All right, we've seen this shit. What else happened? This alone, you could tell this is not real New Yorkers here. Let's go back to this. This is not real New Yorkers. This is kids from Westchester, Long Island, and shit like that. These are not real New Yorkers in this square right now. Real New Yorkers are at their bar, they're at their friend's house, they're smoking a joint somewhere. Real New Yorkers are not trashing downtown. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this crowd. I see a 90% white crowd. I'm being honest with you here. This is not the real New York. You walk around New York, it is a mixing pot. It is not all these fucking kids that came in for the night to fuck with the town and then are getting on the Long Island Railroad or the Metro North to go back home, and then they sleep in it's in a fucking guarded area or whatever the fuck. This is the corniest shit I've ever seen. See, it's not even like a riotous mentality. It's people standing there. Like, so there's no need to like all of a sudden light a bus on fire unless if you're like, "Hey, I want to do this just to do it. I want to do this cuz I saw them do this in Philadelphia." Go fuck yourselves, kids. Cuz that's what you are at this point. You're being kids. What up, Jahan? Welcome to the stream. I had a friend of mine contact me. He was a Knicks fan, and he was like, "Yo, we won." And I was like, "Yeah, congratulations! I'm happy the team won." Because I don't know if he knows I'm not a Knicks fan or what. And he's like, "Oh yeah, but you moved. You're not about this life anymore." I was like, "Well, even if I was there, I'm not a Knicks fan. Like I'd be happy they won, but I'm not gonna. I used to live like a half hour from downtown. I'm not gonna drive to downtown or take a train to go do this. I'm 40. I'm not. I don't need to be a frat boy anymore. This is not something I would do. Like if the Islanders won, if the Jets won, if the Mets won, I still wouldn't do it. I would hopefully, if I'm fortunate enough, if they ever win a championship while both me and my dad are alive, I would want to be with him for it. Wherever that is, if it's at his house, if he's at my house, that's where I would want to be. Maybe with my friends or something like that, or maybe just with my pup and my dad. That's it. I don't need to be out partying and lighting things on fire. It's just I don't understand the mentality. That's not what you dream about when you win. That's not something you grow up as a kid thinking like, "Oh shit, I can't wait until the Yankees win so that I can light shit on fire in the streets." Like, it's mob mentality because when you're in a mob, you're able to get away with stuff. And you're able to get away with things and not as much repercussions because you can kind of mix into the crowd. The people are more empowered. Meanwhile, all these people separately would not be doing this shit. Now, I'm watching this one because they say this idiot trashes the car and then a police horse intervenes. So I'm curious about the police horse because those things are fucking terrifying. I hope I'm not coming across as like an old fogey. It's just like I don't see the point in causing your own taxes to go up. your own property taxes, your own insurance costs. Like, this affects a ton of things. I'm sorry, it does. If you don't realize it, you're not thinking. Because then people will be like, oh man, why does it cost so much to own a car in New York City? Why is my insurance $1,000 a month? Well, what do you fucking think? There we go. There's the boys. There we are. Do they have a stereo thing saying move back? That's awesome. I didn't hear that before. And then this moron. Please pepper spray him. People used to respect the cops. This is fascinating. It's just the degradation of society is just fascinating to watch, man. People used to respect cops. People used to give them honor and stuff. Like, they used to treat them like they were fucking humans. Now it's like, can I meme in front of them? I hope everyone's having a great Monday compared to this shit. I wonder how they choose the horses for the cops. Like, they seem to be different colors. So, see, they do have a machine that says move back. Unless that's one horse. Is that a horse saying move back? That'd be badass. Yeah, get on the fucking sidewalk, the horse is saying. They're just marching down the street. This is chaos, yeah. Because these streets, I don't know how many of these streets are fucking turned up or closed, man. This is chaos. The fact there weren't more deaths reported and there wasn't more looting reported is it is a miracle. Cops represent consequences and people hate those. I guess that's probably true. I don't know what to say. Like, I've never had problems with cops. I've had problems with security guards and campus officers and guys that are pretending to be cops. And there are problems with cops. A, because I know they're not cops. And B, because they're usually trying to overstep their bounds and act like they're cops. Whereas real cops are real cops. There's just respect there. I give respect to everyone, but when these motherfuckers used to... I remember when I'd be picking up my girlfriend from college. And, like, they'd be inspecting your car like you were fucking Taliban or something. It was ridiculous. The real cops wouldn't hassle you. I worked a job at I don't know how much I can say, but it was a security clearance facility. It was Department of Defense. And, like, they checked my car every day going in, and they were nicer, and they never, they were nicer than any security guard I ever dealt with. And those were, like, uniformed military guys and stuff. So NYPD recently added a talking horse. It's about fucking time. To me, that's what steps up your departmental awareness, your ability to please the masses. If there were more horses across America doling out justice, I think we would be a better country. Man, that's just me. I don't know. I'm some may call me a dreamer. See, I always grew up in a weird spate because this recent, like, all cops are bastards things. It's similar to when you heard that when I was growing up and I heard all gays are going to hell. And it's like, but I know gay people and I know that they're not bad people. So that doesn't compute. Same thing. I have cops in my family. I have best friends from high school that are doing a great job as cops. And thank God that they are survived. That they're alive right now. They've had. My friend Jason, one of my really good friends, he's had issues where people have pulled guns on him and stuff. Like, it ain't playtime out there. And I thank God that they're cops. They do a great job because I know they're out there in society being the good cops. Jason's not harassing people. He's not out there bothering people based on skin color and stuff. He is being a good cop regardless of what people think of him. And that's what it's about, man. It's protecting people regardless of their background and stuff. So, on the flip side, growing up, I do remember it was like a joke in high school, and a joke in college, and a joke around the area. It was like the guys who weren't smart enough or good enough to get into the fire department became cops because so the cops got like a lot of high school bullies and a lot of stuff like that because it gave them an ability to continue their bullying. So you do have a lot of that in the cops, unfortunately. But I don't think that's just a black-white. I don't think that's just a white thing. I think that's a black, white, Hispanic, everything. That's a human thing. There's just humans that fit both sides of the profile. So I'm here with the hottest takes today. Well, I'm glad, Cat Diggler. And watch the Cat Diggler show later today. I think he's on at like 9 p.m. or something with Jake Hudson. Everyone knows I've been stupid, and tribalism is choking our collective development. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the whole tribalism thing. It's been unfortunate. I think it's kind of ruined politics also while we're at it. I mean, you're allowed to have different opinions and stuff, but where you completely ignore one side and you write them off as evil or this or that or stupid or whatever. There's never any discussion. There's never ever any meeting in the middle. We've lost everything then at that point, where it's my team is better than your team, and I'll never not like my team, no matter who's in charge of it. Even if they hire this person, I'll always love my team more than your team, regardless. So it's like it's a slippery slope. Obviously, I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that shit, so. Let's look again at more. See, because the other thing is, I believe the Puerto Rican Day Parade was on Saturday or Sunday. It was one of the days around this, or maybe it's next weekend, but it's like, that's not a small event. Let me look that up. Puerto Rican Day Parade. What do I see? Yeah, it was yesterday. So the cops went from this. The Puerto Ricans, they know how to party. They probably went straight from this to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. They didn't stop. So again, this is more of an event rather than a New York Knicks have won event. Plus, you got a lot of people in the city for the World Cup. You got people from all around the world visiting the city for the World Cup that are probably just outside like, oh, this is what it's like in New York at night. No, it's not. It's not. Also, I'd love to see that scaffolding break on them. But, hey, wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up first. So, I mean, it's a good reason. This reminds me of, like, why I moved. This shit's annoying, man. And I know it doesn't happen that often. But there's enough nights during the year, or enough days, or enough events in Manhattan. A president's coming by, either Obama, Trump, doesn't matter. Some dignitary stopping by. The president of Nigeria's fucking first bank of shit is stopping by. They'll close off blocks. They'll have policemen everywhere. They'll be checking bags every fucking 5 feet. Like, just going to and from work becomes like a 2-hour project. Who wants to deal with that shit, man? New York is now becoming for the ultra-rich, which it always kind of was, and now for the people that have a trust fund and moved in from Omaha or South Carolina or Maine, and they want to live the big city life. And it's like, no, real New Yorkers are fleeing the fuck out of the city, man. Like, there's facts. So, but hey, I get to watch it from a distance, so I'm safe. All right, this video's kind of run its course. Let's see what else we got here. Smashed cars and wild crowds. Ooh, Chico, thanks. Hey, guys, best promotion on streamboo.org. Let me block this person. Twitch is useless. There's almost no reason for me to stream on Twitch. Like, every once in a while, I get some watchers and I get some love on Twitch, but in general, it's pretty fucking pointless. I just get bots. Just to comment, at least on YouTube. Like, hey, if you're here on YouTube, please comment. Let me know you're watching, man. I got like 5 people watching. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Smash the like button while you're here. Hit the subscribe on your way out. There are multiple ways to support the channel now. If you're feeling cheeky, you can get a membership through YouTube, or you can sign up on my Patreon. Both would be $5 a month. Get you in, get you everything. And they both do the same thing. They both make you rise in my heart. You can check me and the Zigman out on Instagram. He's growing. He's almost towards 5,000. We're trying to drive toward that by the end of the month. I don't know if we're going to get there, but you got to have goals, man. So I'm Sandro says, hey, he's Sandro and Ziggy. Because it's both of us, because I need to take the pictures, man. His fingers aren't that advanced yet. Thanks for reminding me. I got to do his nails. So, oh, ho, ho, oh, 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 ho. Here's another one. Hello, Aletta Luna. Why has everyone on Twitch also got these weird, like, anime faces? What's that about? Did anyone else notice that shit? Roo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. So you up to for FPS games. See, that's the bot. The bots come in and they just ask you questions, even if you're not gaming. Like, can't they come up with a better bot at this point? I feel like I could program one to, like, at least check what the fucking content is. I think I have my shit listed as, like, just chatting. It's not even listed as a game. Good God, look at this bus pulling pieces. Ah, man. I'd rather live in a 55-gallon drum in the middle of nowhere. Why is there a piece of the car stuck under the bus? What the fuck happened there? And they're just pulling it. They're just going to hit shit as they drive. That's fucking sloppy. Explosions send MSG crowds into frenzy. All right, now we're talking about it. Yeah, this is like what happens to Gotham City when, like, Bane takes over. This is not what should happen when you win a championship. I just can't. I can't fathom it. You know how embarrassing it is. These people are also ruining what it means to be a New Yorker. Like, let me just throw that out there. For a long time, to be a New Yorker it means something. It still means something. Up to a certain point, it still means something. Yes, burn the city down. Yes, that's exactly what you want to do after you win it. What the fuck does... But, like, it used to mean, like, you were tough, you were smart, you were streetwise, all this stuff. Now you got these people that think being a New Yorker means you got to light shit on fire and, like, push cops and stuff. What the fuck is going on here? How did this become a New Yorker? This is insanity, man. I don't even know. I think I'm gonna start moving towards the end of the stream here because I'm getting depressed about my old hometown. COVID really did. COVID really, it's messed everybody up, dude. I totally agree with that. We have another decade or so of bullshit. I don't know, man. I don't know if there is a way back. Everything is cyclical, but I don't know if it's going to cycle back in my lifetime. Because there was a period of, like, happiness, it seemed, in the 90s. But even that, it's like, was everyone happy? I have to look through that prism because that's the prism we're talking about lately. You know, I can't just say we're white people happy, we're women happy, we're black people happy. It's like you gotta think, man. So, all right, let me finish the stream on a more positive note here. I've been slacking on blind boxes, and they came out. They came out with FIFA World Cup blind boxes. So, check it out. I'm gonna open this Ballers blind box. I'm hoping I get a better one than I got the first time. The first time I got some French guy. And I wasn't happy about that. I'm not a big French supporter. I would have taken literally any other team but the French. So they come in these little orbs here. It comes with like 2 layers of plastic around it. You can find them at Target and stuff. I got them on Amazon. But I love blind boxes, and I remember back in the day for the World Cup, they used to do bobbleheads and stuff like this. So, comes a little guy. Let's see who we got. That looks like the stand, and then this will be the person. Ziggy, I know. It's not for you, bud. I'm sorry. Ziggy thinks it's for him, but it's not. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, no way. Well, I got a goalie. That's what matters, because goalies always were the coolest stuff. This is the German goalie, I believe. No, Brazilian, excuse me. Yeah, Becker. He has a German name, but he's Brazilian, which... almost, it's kind of like Argentina, but not as many went to Brazil. That's pretty sweet. Look at that. Dude, totally. Very happy with that. I might get a couple more now. All right, let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me see. My friend Donnell is here. Donnell. Am I saying your name right, man? I assume it's like Donnell Rawlings, because he's one of my favorite comedians. I saw him live in 2005, and he was a good dude. But Donnell is here. What up, sir? And they beat down the school bus. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really young people, and I don't know. I don't know who to blame. But it's like I do have to blame Philadelphia for kind of starting this, because New York used to not do this. New York, it's like the ticker tape parade was a big deal, and that's what's coming on Thursday. The ticker tape parade. For those of you who don't know, the New York Stock Exchange. I don't know. I don't know if it's still the case now, but between the stock exchange and the radio stations in New York, ticker tape was used by like the pound every day. It was pounds every day. It was just little tapes coming through with sports scores, information, news, because that's how you got shit back in the day before the internet and stuff. So they just had bags and bags and bags of this across the city from people. So what happened was when you had a championship like the Yankees won or the Rangers won in '94, you had a ticker tape parade. Those people, they would distribute it to the pathway, like buildings on the pathway, and they would rip the shit up because the tickers, it comes in like little strips that you can rip very easily, and you'd fucking just throw it. And you'd throw it while they were coming by on the thing, and it was really cool because it was like, it's confetti, but it's like, it's a very New York kind of confetti. I forget I don't think it's biodegradable, but they used to like, they'd sweep it up. They did a really good job cleaning up after. And it was a cool visual. So it's like, that's what you look forward to, the ticker tape parade. You don't look forward to lighting the fucking city on fire. Happy the Knicks won the title. It ended the drought of teams of the four major pro sports. I mean, yeah. I hope my Jets can win one next. If I could, I'd really love the Islanders to win one, yes. But I think in order of what I need to see in my lifetime, I need to see the Jets win a Super Bowl. I really need to. I've suffered with them for so long. I've had memories with the Islanders where I've had positive moments with my dad. I've been very fortunate to see playoff games and playoff wins. Like the Jets, I've had so little, and I'm such a big fan. It just bums me out, man. So I don't know what to say about, that's what I wish. The Devils too. So, I'm sorry. Since the Knicks championship, I need some of the other teams in New York Metropolitan. Yeah, the Nets, the Yankees. The Nets can go fuck themselves. When the Nets move to Brooklyn, I hope they never win anything ever again. Jay-Z moved them to Brooklyn because I guess it was more profitable than New Jersey, even though they were doing very well in New Jersey. Now they're like a forgotten team in the city because guess what? Brooklyn was Knicks territory. I don't know who Jay-Z thought he was, that he was going to all of a sudden convince everyone to become fans of this new team. So I hope the Nets never win a damn championship. Yankees don't need one. They have $1 billion and their fans are assholes about it. Sorry, just being honest. Mets could use one because they're another downtrodden franchise. I'm a Mets fan, and I was born for their last one, but I don't remember it at all because I was a baby. Giants don't need one. They had two within the last 20 years. Jets, again, haven't had one since the 60s, so the Jets are really in need. Rangers had it in 94. They bought it. They don't need to buy another one. They could go another 40 or 50-something years before getting it. Islanders could use one. I think that's another franchise where, luckily with Schaefer, they're going to be able to, I think, at least they should have some of the assets and the ability to challenge for it. So, yeah, you mentioned the Devils, my man. Don't worry about it. I enjoy the Devils too. Oh, maybe you didn't. It doesn't matter. I enjoy the Devils. I like them growing up. They're a strong team, but they had their time in the sun. They don't need New York teams don't need to keep winning championships. There's a big world out there. That's why people hate us. But the Islanders could sure use a championship. The Jets, with all the people that have laughed at the Jets over the years, both personally, professionally, on ESPN, in my life, everything, it's always been a joke. They need to win something because that would just make it worth it. So, Anyway, thank you all here for stopping by today on this wonderful Monday, the 15th of June, 2026. I am your excellent host, Alex. As always, I'm not starting over, I'm just ending the show. Please hit the like button on the way out if you are so interested in following us on Instagram. There's the handles. I'm on the left, Ziggy's on the right. And if by some chance you really want to help me, help support me in this crazy endeavor, you can Venmo me, you can super tip me, super chat me, or you can member up on YouTube or go to the Patreon and sign up there. Same price, get you in, get you everything, and really would help out in the journey here. So, otherwise, it was really nice. It was really Bruce Ratner that moved to Nets to Brooklyn. Bruce Ratner is another person that can go fuck himself. We can talk more about this on Wednesday, Donnell. I would love to talk about owners that are. Why do I hate the Nets so much? Well, because I used to be a Nets fan. I was a Nets fan, and then they said, "Hey, we're going to change the colors and move them to Brooklyn, and trade for the big three at 39 years old and trade all our young assets." And I said, yeah, I'm done with this. And by the way, the stadium sucks. Barclays Center sucks dick. It's a horrible stadium. It's in a terrible area to get to. It's not even a safe area of Brooklyn. I used to go there for Islanders games, and it's a fucking nightmare. This is a Julius Randle jersey. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Knicks fan. If you go back and watch from the beginning, Donnell, I collect jerseys. So a couple years ago, I really liked the New York, what is this, the City Edition or whatever New York's calling it nowadays, or whatever, Fanatics rather. So I was able, when I was back home, probably 2 or 3 years ago, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and they had this in my size, and I was pumped to get it because it was on sale and it was right up my alley, man. I don't have too many NBA jerseys. I have a bunch of Blazers ones from my time there and my fandom there. I have, I think, two Bam Adebayo jerseys because I love the Miami Vice colors and he's my favorite center, and a couple St. John's ones and stuff, and that's it. So yeah, but yeah, they ripped my heart out when they took the Nets out of New Jersey because I was a big fan of the Nets in the 2000s, and yeah, I didn't want to see taking the colors away because Jay-Z wanted them to appeal to the urban crowd, where it's like, the white kids that moved to Brooklyn from Kansas are going to think it's real cool to wear a black and white Brooklyn hat. And yeah, it sold merch, I guess, but you had one of the more interesting color schemes of the NBA with the dark blue and the red of the Nets, and you had that history with Jason Kidd, and you basically just chopped it off and said, no, we're starting anew. So they get what they fucking deserve, just in my opinion. Yeah, Barclays Center is shit. I could rank the New York stadiums for you, but that might be a whole episode. But off the top of my head, the New York stadiums, if I had to rank them, worst is Barclays Center. Second worst is MetLife Stadium. Then you have. I haven't been to the Devil's new stadium in a while. I haven't been to the Devil's new stadium, so I can't count them. Uh, what, Prudential Center, whatever the hell it is in Newark. Uh, New Yankee Stadium is dog shit. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that. Who else is there? I guess I got to go with MSG then, because MSG is pretty classic. Uh, UBS Arena is amazing. UBS Arena is really well designed. The only problem there is the parking kind of sucks because it's spread out, but I think they're working on a tunnel. Basically, it sucks because you have to walk, which I don't mind walking, but it's in a weird spot on the water and there's a lot of wind and stuff. So in a night game in the winter, but they're building a heated tunnel and stuff. And they have a bus going back and forth. And the top arena in the area, or the top thing in the area, is Citi Field. The Mets, when they rebuilt Shea as Citi Field. See, I grew up going to Shea, and Shea Stadium was very near and dear to my heart. Shea Stadium was the stadium me and my dad probably spent the most. And Nassau Coliseum would be first if they still used it. Me and my dad, outside of Nassau Coliseum, spent the most time at Shea Stadium, and it really bummed me out when they were closing it. But Citi Field is beautiful. It's an open air design. You can literally not go to your seat. You can walk in and just walk around the promenade getting food and drinks and watch the game from different vantage points the entire time. You don't have to go to your seat once if you don't want to. It is so beautiful. Like the sound is great, the sight lines are great, the lighting is great, the Apple is there. Citi Field they did a really good job there, I gotta say. I really hope that at some point the Jets move back to New York, because it's embarrassing having a New York team that lives in New Jersey. That's embarrassing. It's stupid. I have to defend it and I can't. It's horrible. I would love them to move to Long Island or to the space next to the Mets. Basically, next to City Field is nothing but chop shops and like burned out apartments and stuff. So they're developing it into like some kind of casino area right now, but there's more room. So I think they could develop a Jet Stadium there if they really wanted to. The arena stadiums in New York: Yankee Stadium, City Field, Madison. Yeah, I named them all except the only one I couldn't was Prudential Center, because I haven't been there. But yeah, so but yeah, there we go. So that was the show for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the like button on your way out. Do all those other things we talked about, and I'll be back on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have tomorrow 2 p.m. Eastern. We have Fat Tuesdays with Patrice O'Neill. I have a really funny episode. It is Patrice versus Anthony Cumia trying to get a cab. I can't say the name of the episode. It involves it's N-word versus Nazi. So it's just take of that what you will. Anthony Cumia versus Patrice O'Neill tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, right on this channel.